Okay, over here, back working on this thing, trying to figure it out. One thing that it did for me remotely, or didn't do, is it would not let me change any of the settings remotely in that, I think it's the LAP 120 sector. It would not let me change any of the settings remotely. I'm thinking maybe it's shorting out, firmware, something to do with that and making it all drop out, because it's the only thing that's dropping out now since I fixed the wires in the backhaul over there that sends it over here. So I came here and plugged into the PoE that feeds the nano switch. Since it has a LAN side on it, I can actually plug in my laptop and actually have a direct connection to the signal that's coming over here. Only thing I was getting was like 8 or 9. That was it. And that was not consistent. Usually it was more times out of all of them, it was like 5 or 6. So I unplugged the Wi-Fi hotspot basically for his cameras and see if it made any difference. Still the same thing. I've done 3 tests and the same thing. Somewhere between 5 and 10 is all I was getting downloaded. I plugged it back in and I unplugged the LAP 120 sector, and lo and behold, and I was plugged in directly of the PoE that feeds the nano switch, and that sucker jumped all the way up to 75, 76 download on the laptop. I'm like, okay, was that just a fluke, or was that actually telling me that's the issue? So I done another test. Same thing, 75, 76. I unplugged the Ethernet wire out of the laptop that's plugged into the PoE that feeds the nano switch, go wireless to his hotspot for his cameras, because I was getting, as you see in my previous video, I was getting like 50, 51, and that's what I got this time. I plugged the LAP 120 back in, drops back down. Now all the wires have been replaced. In the previous visit here. So what I'm doing, just to test this theory, and it's really pointing to this LAP 120 now, because it seems like when I take it out of the equation, everything just lights up and just, loves it. And when first thing that made me feel that that's what the issue was, is when it would not let me remotely change any settings. I can change the setting, like just try to reset or set the frequency to a different one and hit apply. It reboots, comes back, frequency is still in the same one, even though a little icon came up there, display, it says configuration was successful. No, it wasn't. That is where I started directing my investigation, I guess you want to say, or my thoughts and everything towards the LAP 120, because everything was pointing to it. And now, since I can unplug it, take it out of the equation, and what I did while I'm testing is the LAP 120 is right here. What I did is I put another radio up here with the same information as the LAP 120 that feeds all the RVs that's connected, 20 something. So when I plug that in, all the CPEs should, all the CPE should just reconnect, because it won't know the difference. It looks for a SSID and it checks the password, says I'm good, connect, and that's exactly what it did. And with that one up there with everybody connected, I'm still getting my speed. Let's see, wirelessly here. And I'm running a ping. And let me kind of scroll back and see if I see any dropouts. I see none. Scrolled all the way back up to the beginning. Let's do a speed test with this one as the AP feeding the park and him having his hotspot for his cameras. Let's see what it does now. And everybody's connected. I got 48 wirelessly. Don't have it plugged in this time. And I'm getting back to the 50. That 55 is the highest I ever had wirelessly or plugged in. So I feel that from what I've experienced here is this LAP 120 was faulty from day one I put it in here. Now it is all from another site. I just hit the factory reset and programmed it for here. And I've reset it since it's been here to see if that was the issue, if it's been corrupted of power surge or anything. Still doing it. Now let's plug it in and see what we get. The highest I ever had, like 55 plugged in or wireless. I'll turn the Wi-Fi off. Now we'll do another test. This is plugged in from the PoE that feeds the nano switch. All right, let's hit F5 to do this again. Now these radios I have up here for the backhaul, it's pretty much maxing them out. They're maxing out. So I'm getting all the speed that I'm supposed to be getting over here off of them radios. Of course, now I got a lot more speed of that, over there to come here, but them radios are getting maxed out because the maximum of them radios are 150, which is 75 both directions. And that's what I'm getting. So it looks like the access point, the AP 120, is the issue. So I'm just going to temporarily zip tie this up and let this run and see if it has any issues. And if it don't, then I'm not going to replace it with the with another 120. Because I really don't need it. It's just something that I had, and I, factory reset and programmed it for here. Never had any issues, except with one I've had, and that's because the lightning struck it. Pretty much all of them's going to have issues when lightning strikes them. And that was on the 200-foot tower I had. But I'm going to let this radio up here be a substitute for now, and see if the issue goes away. And if it does, I probably will I don't know if I want to put I'll probably put another 10-foot pole and go up and put guide wires on it to hold it up there and get really up there. But I'll probably get the all-in-one, I forgot what the model number was. It's 90 degree. It's got GPS and all in it. Can't remember what model number, but I'll put that here because it seems like I have not had any issues with them at all. They just keep going. But that's what seems to be the problem, is the access point. That's the only thing, because I unplugged it and everything is just lit up. And everything's working. So it's just been coming and going and coming and going, and now it's finally just shortened everything out. Basically, it's about what it seems to be if you was doing this as an electrical thing. It's just shortening it out and slowing it up. But that's the only thing I can find. And as soon as it showed me that it would not let me remotely change the settings, that really put my attention on it even more. And then when I got here, I was not getting the speeds until I unplugged it from the nano switch. And everything is working like it's supposed to. So I'm going to let it go and see if that resolves the issue. And I'm going to send out some emails for all the ones here, the ones that's really monitoring it. I got 3 people that if it has any hiccups, they'll text me, say, hey, it's acting up. It's been acting up for about 15 minutes. Pretty much they're my monitors. And if I don't hear anything from them, I'm going to reach out for them, to them. This is Wednesday. Where is it? Thursday. Days are going by so fast. Yeah, it's Wednesday, and I'm going to give it a couple days and see if I hear anything out of them. And I will monitor their speeds and see if their speeds actually increase, because one of them has got the 60 megabits per second package, and I've never seen them go over 10. And that don't mean theirs is going to go up, because they might not need that much, but that's what they wanted, even though I told them they don't need it. But I'm going to look and see if I can see anybody's going up. I got 1 or 2 in here that really uses the internet massively. I mean, like the TVs, I've seen it go up like 25 and 30. But lately I've been looking at it and it hadn't gone over 15. So I don't know if they kind of laid back and not using it as much, or is it this AP that was actually slowing their internet up. Even though when it was connected, and everybody was connected on the AP, people still said it was sometimes slow. Which, that's what I was getting here as well. I was getting internet, but extremely slow. So I'm going to let it go and let it tell me if that was the issue or not, because right now it's telling me replace me. And that's what I'm going to do if it shows me no more trouble. All right, I plugged in the LAP whatever's 120 back, and this is what I'm getting. It's straining to get up there. Do it again. And see, it's straining to get up there. Sometimes it can't even hardly get past 50, and it's straining to get up there. And you see the graphic, it just takes its time, gradually gets up. Now I'm gonna go over here and I'm going to switch it back to the one that's on the tree and take this one out of the equation. And see if we get a different result. This is the 120 right here. I got that one out. Let's try this again. See if it strains, gradually climbs up. Oh, and I got 69 out of it. Let's see what it does with this one on it. See, it jumps right up there to 60s and 70s and right on up. 75, no issue. Pretty much it jumps starting above 50. And you see the graphic, it just like jumps and just rides out. It don't gradually go up to get there. Seems to be that radio. And I don't know how many people are actually on it now, so that's going to make a little difference too. And I'm not going to be doing no more testing on this one, because the laptop, it says I'm going night night, and it's shutting down. So am I. I just hope this is the issue that has been causing all the problems. Hopefully it's that radio. So we'll see. I'm gonna try the phone on his hotspot for his cameras and see what I get, because I used to get like 1.5 to 2 down. So I should get more now. Try that and see. Well, it seems like it is that 120 sector radio, because every time I unplug this radio, everything works. Everything works. So I'm going to button it up without that plugged in and use the one on the tree temporarily and see how it goes. Just monitor everything. Hopefully this is it. This has been aggravating over about a month and a half to 2 months. Just aggravating, changing things, trying things, and just nothing would tell me what it was. So basically, as of right now, only thing I had problems with is the wires from the modem to the EdgeRider X, that with the PoE in between them two, and this radio seems to be all the issues I've been having, because everything's pointing to it, because everything is working now. So we'll see the uptime on this radio, timestamp in the radio, and see when it actually came back online. And right now it's showing 240, so about 230, 240 when it came back on at that time. I'll write that down in the studio and monitor it and see if it drops out or not. We'll see. But it's been one journey, ups and downs on this one. But I was determined to get it fixed. I wasn't going to give up until I figured out what it was.